What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. I'm Lori. So I want to talk about 3 places that you should travel to in 2026 this year. We're still in January, so it's not too late to plan 1 or 2 vacations or more. So these countries are diverse, awesome, amazing, and usually good weather, right? So place number 1 is Mexico. I know Mexico has been, a lot of people travel to Mexico. You've probably been to Mexico. But the thing is, there's different parts of Mexico. Mexico is a big country. Obviously not as big as some other countries. But it's very diverse, So there's the one side where you have Cancun, and then you have Playa Vallarta at another, Puerto Vallarta at another area. Then you have Cabo, which is in the Baja Peninsula, which is very different. So that's where I just came back from recently, which is Baja. So we're in Cabo, which is the very tip of the peninsula. So yeah, I thought it was totally different from the other places that I've been to in Mexico. So obviously the first thing you think of when you think of Mexico, I'm sure you can agree, is the people. Everyone is super happy, super friendly. We have actually about 3 scenarios where people were friendly to us, that came up to help us, weren't trying to scam us anything, had nothing to gain, didn't ask for a tip or didn't ask for us to buy anything. Like, it was literally people. So one time, okay, we were in the town trying to catch an Uber, and the Uber was telling us to go to some marina, and we didn't know, well, we were at the marina, but we didn't know where in the marina, right? So we were kind of standing on the street level. So we were kind of standing there and just kind of looking at our phones, and this random guy came up to us and said, "Oh, are you guys looking for an Uber?" And we're like kind of guarded because we had just arrived, and you do hear bad stories, stuff on the news, right? But just guarded because, like, how would you even know that we're looking for an Uber? Like, we're standing outside of a casino, right? So it was kind of random. And he goes, "Oh," and I said, "Yeah, we are." And I thought he was going to say, "Oh, I have a taxi cab, come in my car," right? Just because I have traveled a lot and you just have to be mindful, right? But no, he was like, "Oh yeah, the Uber tells you to go down there, but just stand right here. The Uber will pick you up right here. You're in the right spot." I'm like, "Are you sure?" He goes, "Oh yeah." And he stood there and waited until the Uber came in. Like, I'm like, "Thanks, dude. Like, that's seriously nice." And then another time we were catching an Uber a couple days later, and we were trying to find this place. And so we went into this mall and asked the security guard. He didn't know English. He walked us over to another store where somebody did speak English. And then not only did the guy from the store offer to help, he walked us outside the mall, around the corner, and I'm like, "Where is he taking us?" And then he showed us where to stand for the Uber, and I'm like, "Dude, this is like seriously friendly." Like, he left his post. He was like one of the security guards or whatever area in the store. I'm like, wow, that's so nice. And then another time we had the similar thing when we were taking a sunset boat cruise, which I will post a picture here. So the same thing, somebody came and we were asking, I guess, we were just asking, we got out of the Uber, and of course, there's people asking for, what do you want? Do you want the boat, that glass boat, all the different options. I said, "No, we already have an excursion booked." And I told him which brand, and he goes, "Oh," and I said, "Which way?" And he said, "That way." And he didn't just point, he walked us there. It was like around an alley, around a corner, and then finally got us to the place. I'm like, "Dude, thank you." It's not even his company. He's seriously a competitor. He was there to, offer to sell his package, right? So I thought, you know what? These people are so friendly. Yes, you do hear stories of Mexico. No country is perfect. I came from Toronto, and we have our fair amount of stuff that happens there, and every country does. So honestly, I have to say the people are so friendly. And I did notice that when I was in the Cancun side too, and Acapulco side, but I had never been to this part of Mexico. So I just thought, wow, like, it's, these people are very friendly. So that's the number 1 draw to go back to Mexico. People are very friendly and they're happy. They're living in Mexico. Why wouldn't they be happy, right? The other reason is obviously it's beautiful. The beaches are stunning everywhere in Mexico, except for maybe Acapulco. I wasn't super thrilled with the beach in Acapulco, but in Cabo, wow. Like, I'm going to put some pictures here that you can see the sunset. We saw the Arch, which is a famous destination in Cabo. Beautiful place. And we also did this cool sky bike that you can see, which was, one of those things you signed up for and then instantly regretted after. Regretted because I was terrified of the height. But honestly, it was beautiful. It was such a unique excursion. I'm so happy we did it. So you have to visit Mexico. Give Mexico a chance. If you've written them off based on the news or the stories or whatever, just go back to Mexico. Just pick a new place. If you've already been to one part, go to another part. Try them all, right? Okay, the second place that you should visit in 2026 is Iceland. As we know, you've probably heard over the past, I don't know, I guess couple of years, there was a huge volcano that took out some of the Blue Lagoon. So they have struggled as a country. You know, this is an ongoing issue. But the thing is, there's lots of places that are safe, and it's still stunning. It does not take away all the beauty. This is the most, it's a very landscape, beautiful type of country. You know, it's just very unique with the rolling green hills, the green cliffs. And then the second thing is the waterfalls. You know, you go from these really, really green, the cliffs, and then these massive waterfalls, which are huge, stunning, and then you see the mist and the fog around it. Like, it's almost magical. So if you haven't been to Iceland, now's your chance. Book a vacation to go to Iceland and go check it out. All right, the third place you should go visit in 2026 is Bali. You know, Bali has gotten so popular over the past few years, rightfully so, because it's stunning. It's absolutely beautiful. It's affordable. It's very affordable. The thing is, it does take a while to get there. You know, it might take 2 or 3 days or whatever, depending on your flights and your layovers and all that. But once you get there, it is so worth it. It's like a whole nother world. People are super friendly there too. Never met so many friendly people. So not just the friendly people, then you have the temples, you know, the uniqueness, I guess the cultural experience. That's the thing, is when you go to a country, you want to experience their culture, right? So, you know, Balinese culture is very unique. You have the temples, which are stunning. You can go to so many temples, the water temple, the beauty, you know, different temples with a different view, different height, and just so many uniqueness to it. And then you have the rice terraces, the beaches, the food. I mean, you know, honestly, I missed that in Mexico. I should have said that too, because that was also a main driver for Mexico. We all know the food is amazing. Iceland, I would say the food was also good. But Iceland wasn't as culturally diversified, I guess, as Mexico, if that makes sense. I don't know. That's just maybe the food that I had, or the type of foods that I like. But yes, the food in Mexico was awesome. But the food in Bali, the Balinese food is so fresh. They have fruits that you haven't had before, like snake fruit and maybe jackfruit. They grow a lot of different fruits there that we don't have here in Canada or in the States, North America. So I would say, yeah, the uniqueness of their culture, just learning about their culture, and if you do some kind of a tour or something, just learn about the culture of the country that you're in, right? And the monkeys are adorable. You know, these cute animals around the world, they always seem to lure me to these places to go travel, and why not? The monkeys are cute. You get to see the monkeys. So I do have a couple of videos on Bali, because I went there a couple of years ago. If you want to look at some of these, or I could put them in the description. Yeah, so you can even climb Mount Batur, which is like a mountainous view that you climb in the middle of the night. You climb in like at 1 and 2 a.m. and then you're supposed to get there for the sunrise. But, you know, I'm not bitter, but we didn't get the sunrise, so it was foggy that day. But it was still an awesome experience. And the monkeys greet you when it's daylight. You know, they come out and you give them snacks and everything. They're just so adorable. So hopefully, though, that list of 3 different countries, maybe you haven't been to these countries. So that was the thing I did mention in a previous video, is I personally don't want to go to the same countries that a lot of people go to, which is the Spain, the Greece. Like, you know, maybe at some point I might go to those, but I want to go to these unique places that I want to get the cultural experience. I don't want to be there with 1,000 tourists. You know, there are going to be tourists in these places for sure. It's hard to find a country nowadays that there isn't tourists. But it's not the volume of some of the other countries, like the European countries, that you just have so many people. And I've heard even like there's some countries that don't want tourists anymore. They're sick and tired of it. But not the countries I mentioned. They will welcome your visit, you know, you visiting. They love tourists. I had no issues with any of these places. Very friendly places. They would love to have your business too. So please consider traveling to one of these places, and let me know in the comments below if you've been to these and what you would add to the list. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep on traveling. Bye.